couple of callers who had a couple of questions. Do it down the beat. Straight wrong, man. Cotton pickers.
It ain't a cop with a badge, don't know a crooked cop. They say that they don't shoot, they lying through their teeth. And I be lying too, saying we don't need no police. Streets got crooks and crime, got to have us some law. But there was a criminal act, the whole world just saw. Sworn to do a duty, you put that uniform on. Misuse, abuse authority, how you sleep when you go home? Time to reap what you sow, it's time to pay what you owe. Got us fucked up, think we gon' pay to kill some more. Quick to say nah, that is some good cops. And I ain't seen none. They must don't make hood stops. Hear sirens, see guns, pointed ready to kill. Shot down Miss Betty's baby. Give a dick, man, how she feel? Been getting away too long, false reports and testimony. Lying in court, can't wait to put them handcuffs on me. Lying in court, can't wait to put them handcuffs on me.
I don't trust you. Tell me why should I? Tell me why should I? Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me. I don't trust you. Tell me why should I? Tell me why should I? Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me.
I got so much pain deep inside of me. Cause all I see, a society that lie to me. Ain't no quality, that shit don't exist. My hand clips, raising my black fist up like this. We tired of this shit, enough is enough. Try to call our bluff, we'll tear this motherfucker up. When you gon' prosecute these racists and police? No justice, no peace, it ain't just us now in these streets. White, black, brown, motherfuckers going down. I know you somewhere listening, how the revolution sound. They that old man a concussion, push them down to the ground. That shit you do is evil. You don't serve and protect the people. Try to kill Lil Mud, I can't forget you either. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, to name a few. Tyson Nelson, Oscar Grant, felony murder without a clue.
Y'all know what it was. Felony murder without a clue.
No, I don't trust you. All these mamas crying. Tell me why should I? Brothers and sisters dying. Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me. I don't trust you. I don't wanna see it no more. Tell me why should I? Tell me why should I? Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me.
That's a goddamn lie. They killing our people. Saw it with your own eyes. Nothing changed, same thing, just a different name. Get a badge, get a gun, and you can legally gang bang. Ain't no faith in the system. All that talking, we want convictions. Like sinners, every crooked cop should die in prison. Ain't fooling me, cause you're on a knee and you're kneeling. Why you ain't say nothing but all them beatings and all them killings? I heard you, Black Chief. Say you got work to do. So what you gonna do about all them dirty motherfuckers you know that work for you? You ain't no fool. This story here is true. I know you paid your union dues, but they'll kill your black air too. Yeah, when it come down to it, your air still black. So tell us, we wanna know how your black air gon' act. It's time to show and prove. What's up, homie? It's on you. What you gonna do? It's your move.
No, I don't trust you. No justice, no peace. Tell me why should I? No dirty police. Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me. I don't trust ya. Tell me why should I? Tell me why should I? Cause all I see is you killing her, and you killing him, and you killing me.
It's important to remember that for black people, law enforcement has often been on the wrong side of history. They were enforcing slavery all those decades ago and then enforcing Jim Crow. People remember that. The grandparents tell stories. The photos are still there.
The photos still exist, but perhaps more importantly, so do the wounds. How can we trust a system that's so rotten at its core?
Hi, hello. Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. I would like to share my son's story. My son's name is Jericho Lindsay. We lived in Hawaii, and my son in Hawaii was jailed on trumped-up charge of murder. He did not commit the crime. There was no evidence against him. The gun residue test did not indict him. The DNA test did not indict him. There were several witnesses testifying that he did not do it. yet he was sentenced to life plus 90 years. This was my son's first conviction. At his trial, 2 witnesses testified that he was not the shooter. 3 more witnesses came forth on his behalf, wrote statements stating that he was not the shooter. 3 more witnesses wrote statements because they were not allowed to take the witness stand. The young lady that orchestrated the murder gave an unusual plea agreement of a 10-year sentence with parole in 3 years and 4 months, so she would not testify. They told her she did not testify, that they would give her this, and the reason they did not want her to testify is because she would have testified that my son was innocent. In exchange for my son's freedom, she was sentenced to do 1 more year in addition to the 2 years she had done. Now, during the closing arguments, the deputy district attorney, his name was Darrell Wong, explained how there were many errors and inconsistencies throughout the trial. The young man that actually committed the murder, his name was William Freeman, he confessed to the murder on video. He confessed to the murder on an audio tape the night that they arrested him. He said, I did it, I shot him, I killed him. But the prosecutor, Wong, said that William Freeman meant to say he shot out of there. Freeman took an amazing plea deal to point the finger at my son. He was repeatedly admitting to lying on the witness stand, and he was wearing 2 shirts and shorts that were soaked in blood that matched the DNA of the victim. Now, I want to know if there is any way possible you can help my son, because I have the page number and the disc number of the results of the DNA that says that my son's DNA didn't match any of that. He was excluded with DNA. And I have the page numbers and the disc numbers and the page and the line numbers that says he was excluded, his DNA, on all of the DNA samples.
So I can't, obviously I can't decide over the phone, whether or not this is a case that we could take on. What I would ask you to do is to take a look at our website. We have information on there on how you could submit the case for us to take a look at. And also, there is a Hawaii Innocence Project. And again, if you go to the innocencernetwork.org website, you can find information about the Hawaii Innocence Project.
The thing is, the person that's over the Hawaii Innocence Project is the one who misrepresented my son. His name is William Harrison. He was my son's attorney, and he misrepresented him. And he's over the Innocent Project.
Well, I unfortunately I don't know anything really about the Hawaii Innocence Project, but sometimes lawyers, if they believe injustice has been caused, they'll continue to fight. So even if he wasn't successful the first time around, if he thinks there's a good reason to take a second look at the case, he might be willing to do that. But again, we're happy to take a look at it as well. There's information about what you need to do for us to do that at our website at innocenceproject.org. We had a client. He wasn't acquitted, but he was released from prison. We had evidence can prove innocence. Unfortunately, there is a long list of people who want our help, but we've been trying to kind of get through that list much quicker recently, and of making great strides and moving through the backlog of cases so that it's not as long to get to them. So yes, we definitely want to hear from her.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you for allowing me to share my son's story with you, and I I will definitely be in touch with your organization as soon as I get off this phone.
And I would just say for anyone who's fighting for out there who's fighting for justice, you know, we just hear over and over again from our clients and from the other people who've been exonerated, just keep going.
May I just please say that? May I just please say one more thing?
Yes.
Hawaii is so monopolized. It's going to take somebody outside of Hawaii to help my son. My son, what happened to him happened because he was a young black man who owned his own urban clothing store in the Maui Mall, and he was doing very well. And the name of his clothing store was the Spotlight Fashions. And the prosecutor in his closing statement titled it Lindsay in the Spotlight, because jealousy had everything to do with them convicting him of this crime for 4 years, and I am there for him.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Wonderful to listen. And I do what I can to help because I believe in what you are doing. Also, I was reading what you said about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.